Hey everyone, welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm so excited to talk to y'all about a topic that's so important. I'm April Rush, Sapphire Ambassador, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Okay, I think we're good. Can you, Hillary, since I see you, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, here we go. Okay, so as you know, tonight we are talking about vision. And this is something that we not only need in our businesses for ourselves, so we need to be able to cast it for others. So what exactly is vision? Well, it's a clear mental picture of what could be in your life, fueled by the conviction that it should be, right? So that's a quote by Bob Heilig. I wanted to throw it out there that tonight I'm using some information he presented from your virtual upline, number 43, in case y'all want to go take a listen after this Monday Night Live or whenever. So another definition of vision is the foresight of what the future should look like, okay? And y'all, when it comes to vision, basically you have to believe that there's more out there. Basically what it means is you have to believe that you deserve more, right? And a lot of times we get stuck in that we already have what is best for us, or we already have enough. But the thing is, there's more out there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how we can cast that to others. All right, so what does having vision result in? Well, when people have really strong vision, it makes me think of several people on this team, several leaders that have very strong vision. So a lot of times they have this really bold confidence about them, right? And when you have confidence, this is going to pull you towards where you want to go. There's a word for this. It's called courage. So we have to be courageous. And vision also, y'all, is going to pull us towards the harder things, right? We're going to be drawn to doing the harder things, but they don't always feel as hard. If you have very clear vision of where you're headed, where you're going, the things that could feel hard aren't going to feel as hard. So to give you an example, reaching out to chicken listers, it's not going to feel as hard if you know exactly where you're going and where they can go as well. The next area is, if you have really strong vision, is you're going to be committed. You're going to be committed to plexus. And an example is skydivers. So my husband, when we dated, he skydived all the time. And y'all, when he would tell me about it, he didn't say something like, I put one arm out of the jet, and then I put my leg out, and then I jumped back in the jet. No way. Y'all, he was like free falling, you know, probably singing that song as he was skydiving because that's his personality. Well, guess what? It's the same thing with plexus. If you're kind of like lukewarm or I'm going to give this a try, guess what, y'all? You're not going to, right? It's either you're in or you're out when it comes to plexus. All right, when someone has very clear vision, they have persistence. They're not going to give up. Right? Who can you think of on this team who is very persistent? I actually had a dream teamer. She hasn't quite joined me yet. And the other day I messaged her probably for the 16th time, not kidding. And she said, girl, you are so persistent. And she said, I'm not saying that rudely at all. She's like, I just really appreciate it. So I'm still warming her up to the idea of it. But if you have clear vision, you're going to be extremely persistent. And this makes me think of Thomas Edison. We all know he invented the light bulb, but did you all know how many times did he fail before he invented it? And I can't see the chat, so you guys can't even guess. But y'all, it was 10,000 times. 10,000 times he failed first. He failed forward, but guess what? He had this clear vision of, if I can create this light bulb, it's going to change the world. Well, guess what? That's what we're doing too. If we can do this, and we don't stop, we're going to change the world. So having persistence. And then the other thing is, if you have very clear, bold vision and you know where you're headed to, you're going to dream big. And I mean dreaming big, right? Not just saying, oh, I'd like to have an extra $250 a month, or I'd like to, whatever it is. You're going to be dreaming big. And do you guys know the one thing that can hold us back from dreaming big? It's being realistic. Being realistic is basically worrying about the how or the what ifs versus actually having that strong vision and knowing that the how is going to be so insignificant. Do you guys personally believe that you deserve more? Do you believe it? Are you willing to move past the past, right? Move beyond the past, move beyond the present, and move into the future? That's what it is. When you have vision, you're looking at what could life look like? How could life look differently than it does now? And the only thing that's going to stop you is you being too realistic. All right, without vision, people lose focus. Vision is really important. It makes me think of the book, The Slight Edge, by Jeff Olson. He talks about the success curve versus the failure curve. So basically, when you have a goal, you're either headed towards it or away. There is no in between. So it makes me think of actually a Bible verse in Matthew 7:13 through 14. They say, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only few find it. Well, guess what? Here we go. It's biblical. Wide is the gate, right? We have lots of people who enter in Plexus, lots of people we're recruiting. But guess what? That keeps narrowing as we're headed towards diamond, and only the cream of the crop get to the top, right? So basically, we could get really distracted, just like Christians. We can get distracted by things. And it's the same thing with Plexus. We can get distracted by the shiny next thing that we want to hit, the next goal. We could get stuck in mind trash. We could be full of excuses and not even know that they truly are excuses. Another thing, we could stop because of things people said. You guys, life as Christians wasn't meant to be easy, right? But if we persevere through the hard times, it's the same thing with Plexus, it is going to be so worth it. So before you can even cast vision, you're going to need belief, and it needs to be strong. And the belief is going to start in yourself first. That's the very first step. Now, when it comes to yourself, we can build it, right? But it has to be intentionally built. Just like a couple slides ago, we have to be super focused when it comes to that area. Now, if you don't personally have belief in yourself, I'm pretty sure your upline does. That's why you're on here tonight. Borrow your upline's belief. Ask your upline, what do you see in me? Why do you see potential in me? Borrow their belief. And a lot of times, y'all, if you don't have belief in yourself, sometimes it's not even a Plexus thing. It's probably something that has happened in the past. So make sure you're digging into that. The next thing you're going to need belief in is the products. Basically, if you don't have belief in the products, make sure you're taking your products, right? First of all, and just know we have our hands on something that is so very life-changing, right? Our products aren't gender specific. They're not age specific. They're not order these products and you can order them in the next few months again, right? They're consumable products that are going to run out. So make sure you have your belief built in the products. If you don't, the Gut Health and Happiness page is great. Get into the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel. There's so many different things you could be doing to build your belief. And then the last area you need belief before you can cast that vision to others is going to be in network marketing. And y'all, when I think of network marketing, basically what companies have decided is they want to go ahead and put their advertising money into people, into people's homes, right? Into people's pocketbooks versus billboard ads or internet ads or, however else companies, commercials and stuff like to advertise. So for Plexus specifically, they wanted to go ahead and bless people, right? And we know that word of mouth is best. It makes me think about people who maybe post about their favorite pair of mom jeans, or they post about their favorite Starbucks drink like I did the other day. Did I get paid for that? Did Starbucks send me a pretty little check? No. But guess what, you guys? There's a lot of people doing that. They are personally sharing what they love, but they're not being paid. So we are. We're the smart ones, right? And so you have to believe in network marketing. You also need to believe in our company. Did y'all know that they're the number 8 best voted place to work in all of Arizona? That's a really big deal, and we're backed by Morgan Stanley. So y'all, make sure your belief is so strong. People can tell if your belief is wavering. They can tell that. And it's going to be hard to get some very strong business builders going and duplication if you really don't believe that you can do this. So make sure you work on yourself first and work on your belief. All right. So before you cast the vision, we want to know, first of all, well, who are you looking for? Who are you personally looking for? So you're going to think first. Make your list of qualities. For me, it's people who have integrity. That's so important. You can't teach integrity. I like people that are driven. They're willing to learn, right? You can't get too far if you're not coachable. You may think that you can, but you're going to get stuck at some point. They like to have fun. That's a big deal for me. Hungry for change. Are people hungry for change? Do they really want something different with their life? So what qualities are you personally looking for? And then y'all, typically you're going to attract others like yourself. So look in the mirror. Are you happy with who you are? If you're complaining about who you're attracting or who you're not attracting, well, guess what? It's probably time to lift that leadership lid, right? Something else that you have to be very intentional about doing. And that's going to come with personal growth, right? All right, the next one is, well, you're going to have to build rapport. They want to know, y'all, first of all, do you like me? Can I trust you? 2 things. Now, I have a really fun story. So there's a picture of Rachel and I, and it was actually the first time we met. But here's the kicker, y'all. We lived across the street for 2 years. And y'all, we never said hi to each other once. Can you believe it? We're kicking ourselves in the butt now. But we literally would go to the mailbox and give that awkward, like, hey, you look really cool, but I don't know what our deal was. But for 2 years, nothing but the awkward wave. Like, we'd both get home at the same time and just kind of like wave from our garages. Once in a while, our husbands would borrow things from one another, I guess. But as for Rachel and I, we met over Facebook. So here's to say, basically, you have to build rapport. It took me moving several states away for her and I to connect. Well, how did I connect with her? Well, basically, I learned about what was going on in her life, right? So I actually looked at her Facebook page, and guess what? I tried to figure out how can I connect the dots between April's life and Rachel's life. Well, we were both having boys at about the same time, and we were both staying up at 4 a.m. feeding our babies. So I connected the dots, and I just said something like, hey girl, I'm not sure if you've seen, but I'm now at home with my son. I'm curious to know, you're going back to work after your son is born. And I literally got her wheels turning, right? The good thing is she had about a year and a half of exposure from my Facebook page of what Plexus was. So y'all, if it's social media, make sure that you're building good, solid rapport. If you can, take it to one-on-one conversations in person. Take them out to coffee. Take them out to lunch, right? And let them know that you're interested in them. don't necessarily have an agenda when it comes to building rapport. And as we know, watch their stories or comment on their Facebook pages, just little things that you can do to let them know that you do want to know about them and you care about them. And then the other thing that you need to do before you cast vision, and you won't always be able to figure this out. So if you feel like, oh gosh, I don't know their pain points, I can't cast vision, yes, you can. But if you have pain points, or if they're like throwing them out there at you, then this is going to make your life a little bit easier. But basically, when it comes to pain points, there's usually two, right? There's health and there's finances. And guess what? Plexus helps with both, right? So a lot of times you'll hear moms complaining about not having enough energy. Maybe they're in debt like crazy. Maybe they want to travel more. Maybe they're sick of the medications that they're taking, or they hate their job, whatever it is. A lot of times people will air this stuff on Facebook if you're watching, right? If you're connecting, if you're really looking to see what they may be struggling with. But like I said, if you can't figure it out, we're going to go more into how you can cast vision without knowing their pain points. So let's talk about casting vision, the very most important part of our call. So what you're going to do is you are going to paint the picture. And here I have a lovely picture of a painting. And it probably would be some sort of painting I would do because I'm not artistic at all. But anyways, when it comes to casting vision, y'all, you have to be bold. People can understand if there's wavering in your voice. If there's, oh, I think you could do this business, but I'm not sure. Heck no. When you guys have people who you want to get running, are you going to say, hey, I think you could be good at this? Or are you going to get rid of the words and basically say, hey, if you do this with me, this is what life could look like literally painting the picture, right? It makes me think about when you're painting the picture, you want to be extremely bold. You want to be confident, like we talked about. You want to be full of enthusiasm. You want to be really excited. And people, again, want to follow strong leaders. So that excitement should be bleeding onto them. And if you are not 100% solid in this opportunity, then you need to work on that first. And then figure out how you can take others with you. But don't let it slow you down. Borrow someone else's belief. Start watching more Diamond Docs, whatever it is, so you can continue to really cast some strong vision. And then the next one is going to be, y'all, is to just be specific. Sorry, I was jumping ahead. I was getting excited. Be specific. If you have those pain points, speak to them, right? Also, ask them good questions. If you're not sure what this could do for them, ask them the question that goes, hey, if your calendar were empty and your bank account were full, how would your life look different? Basically, you're figuring out what they're not happy with at this point, or where they could see themselves in the future if money wasn't a problem, right? Some people are in a lot of debt. Some people are living paycheck to paycheck. So actually asking that question will open the door to, okay, she wants to spend more time with her kids, or they want to pay off debt, whatever it is. Another question that I'll ask is, if your life looked the exact same as it does right now in 5 years, would you be okay with that? And then you pause and you wait, right? If you're on the phone call, you listen. If they're not okay with it, you ask them to tell you more. Well, tell me more. What would you be doing? Or what would look different for you? How would that look for your family, right? You're just basically casting vision and letting them know that this is possible. There are other options out there. A lot of people don't know there are other options out there. And then the last important thing when you're casting vision is to be visionary. Tell them exactly what this opportunity is going to do for them. Avoid words like I hope, I wish, right? I hope this will do that. I wish you could do that. No, use words like it will. This is how your life is going to look different. This is how things are going to look like in 60 days, 30 days, whatever it is, 3 years, whatever they're telling you where their pain points are. And ask them, y'all, to close their eyes and picture how their life is going to look differently. And you can say something like, okay, this is going to sound so cheesy, but I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to picture that day, that big loan that said $59,000. Y'all, that's how much our loan was. It said $59,000. Picture that day it says 0, a big 0. Do you guys know how excited we were when that said 0? My husband was like a little kid jumping up and down because we were out of debt. And the thing is, y'all, 2.5 years ago, that's what Christina asked me on the 3-way call that I was on. She said, how would your life look differently? What would life look like if you could change anything? And I had told her we would be out of debt. And when she told me that Plexus could do that for us, I think I kind of laughed. I think I kind of thought there's no way. But y'all, that little thing got my wheels turning, right? That little tiny comment. So you just don't know when you say something to someone and maybe they don't respond, or maybe they ignore you, or there's crickets. Well, guess what? Their wheels are still turning. So you have to be so bold and you have to consistently do it, right? All right, the other thing is when it comes to plexus, basically, and casting the vision, is tell them, how are they going to be wildly successful? Why do you know this about them? What are some specific things, right? When I was looking into doing this business, Christina spoke into me exactly what she saw in me when I didn't even see it, y'all. And so you have to be specific. Tell people, are they really good at social media already? Maybe they already have integrity and grit? Do they have a great following? Do they already add value? What is it about them that makes you so very attracted to them? And why would they be good at this? Speak to those things and be extremely specific. Another question you can ask is, have you ever thought about doing something like I do? So very simple. And then shut your mouth, right? It is so easy for us to say, oh my gosh, just getting quiet, or there's crickets, I need to fill that space. No, they're thinking and they need you to be quiet for a moment so they can answer you, right? Okay, so now I have a couple example templates. Just an example. Okay, the first one is, hey Jane, I hope you're having a great day. I saw the other day, so letting her know I'm watching her page. I saw the other day you posted about heading back to your job and how you wanted more time with your baby. Have you ever, here it is, have you ever thought about doing something like I do? I had to message you. Well, why? Why are you messaging her? I had to message you since you already have a great following on Facebook, you have integrity, and you seem like you're driven too. So call them to action. If I sent you a short video to check out, would you watch it? And then from there, y'all, I was talking to someone today, but there's no right or wrong way to cast vision. Just because April does it some way doesn't mean that y'all have to do it this way. This is just one way of casting vision. But just know that you'll get into a groove of something that works really well for you. But you always want to call them to action, right? You want to see if they really do have a bit of skin in the game, or if they're a bit curious. You want to get their wheels turning. So call them to action and then hold them accountable to actually watching that video. The next example is, hey Jane, I hope you're having a great day. Did I already do this one? Yeah, I don't think I clicked the slide. Okay, here it is. I can't read the very first sentence, so I'm going to read where I can read. But I'm talking about the pumpkin patch we went to this weekend. By the way, it was really fun, y'all. Pumpkin patch, it was a blast. What did y'all do? So first, again, connecting with them, letting them know I'm a real person. I go to a pumpkin patch too, right? And then I say, I had to message you because I think you would be wildly successful. So being really bold. I'm not saying, I don't know, maybe you could do this or maybe we could link arms. No, I'm saying she's going to be wildly successful at doing what I do. You seem like a person being specific with a drive. You obviously prioritize your family and you have a great personality, right? It takes people of good personality to do what we do. Have you ever considered using social media to make additional income? That could be a great ending question. Or you could say something like, have you ever thought about working from home? A lot of people right now, y'all, are thinking about working from home. There's a lot of tired teachers out there. There's a lot of people who are sick of being told how to work their hours, when to work their hours. You know, they're being micromanaged. So ask specific questions when you're following up with people. And then the next thing, y'all, is going to be to share a tool, right? Call them to action, just like I've been sharing this whole time. Third-party validation is where it's at. So Diamond Docs, opportunity videos, maybe it's someone who's really interested in money, so you're sharing the income potential chart. Maybe it's someone who's super blue, who loves to travel, or who loves social life. So I'm sending them the Hawaii recap video that's in the Plexus YouTube channel. And again, it's not a catch-all. It has to be super individualized. You have to think about what is going to make this girl want to join me or this guy to join me. What is it that I'm going to share? So it takes time to figure out which tool to send them. And again, like I said, hold them accountable to checking it out and ask for feedback. It's as simple as that. Hey, Kim, did you have a chance to check out that Diamond documentary I sent? Wasn't it amazing? What did you think? Or what could you relate with? And then y'all, here's the kicker. Not everyone's going to join you right away, right? So same thing with the business. You may already have someone who loves their products and now you're sprinkling in those business seeds and it could take the 8 to 12 exposures. So just know if you're saying, well, I'm doing all these things, April, well, guess what? I'm gonna tell you to keep doing them until they say yes. So after that, we're going to handle objections. I tried to think of 4 of them that we tend to hear. The first one, to starting the biz, a lot of people will say, well, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. And I say, well, guess what? You just decided to sign up for a business when you ordered your products. Or I'll say something like, girl, I can get you started for less than $100. How does that sound? So just let them know we don't have inventory like a lot of other companies. We don't have this $1,000 startup kits. Yes, there's other companies that require $1,000, $2,000 startup kits. And then we don't have quotas that they have to hit. Another objection you could get is, well, I've tried another MLM before and I failed. And what I share with them is our products are so different than any other product. They're consumable, which means you're having that residual income. They truly are life-changing, and we have support. You guys, that's one of the things I'm hearing over and over because several girls on my team have done another MLM. But what they have told me is there's no other teams out there that they've been a part of that has support like Plexus Freedom Team. So there's a reason why we're one of the fastest growing teams, and we really have, you know, specific systems in place. So you just have to share that with people, share perspective. Another one is they'll quote unquote say, oh, that's not for me. And I'll just say something like, well, share with me why. Did you have a bad experience in the past? Can you expand a bit more to tell me so I can understand? And then from there, I'll share perspective. Usually there's another underlying objection. And then the last one is time. You'll get this one a lot because people look at us and they think that they need 40 to 60 hours a week or they need to quit their current job, and that's just simply not true. And so I'll pose a question back to them and say, well, what do you think? How many minutes a day do you think you need to get started? Or I'll say, how many minutes are you willing to put towards this opportunity? And then from there, y'all, let them figure out. Let's figure out. Maybe it's they have to eat lunch in their vehicle, maybe once a week so they can send out messages or whatever it is. Wake up 30 minutes before their kids in the morning. So let them know some just realistic expectations and how, how much they can get in 30 minutes, 60 minutes of time. All right, so here's your cliff notes. The very end. Vision is essential and keeps you focused. In order for us to cast vision, you have to have belief, and it needs to be so very strong. You need to know exactly who you're looking for. Who are your dream teamers? Start a list tonight. You need to connect and build relationships first, and it needs to be beyond just plexus. Ask really good questions and help them to picture how could life look differently? How is plexus going to help? What are their pain points? Be specific and continue to follow up. So that is all I have tonight. I'm going to stop the recording when I figure out how to see everyone again. Oh, I need to stop share. Here we go.